in creation, in nature, the animals, birds, insects, all of them have got a very good sensitivity for vibrations, for the smells from long away distance, like 2 kilometers, 3 kilometers distance. Why that sensitivity is not there for human beings?
Yeah, very good question, Nashin. I used to say, cat is a cat is a cat, and what I do not say is the human being a human being a human being? So, human beings, if a elephant or a wild cat is able to sense the presence of an enemy 2 kilometers away, a human being can sense it 20,000 kilometers away. That level of potentiality is there in the 90 trillion cells in the brain. What is their brain? Not even the size of a fingertip, let us say so, of a bird, or of many other so-called wonderful entities. What is the brain of an ant, the other day we discussed this,
yes,
which can sense a drop of sugar on this table. Okay? First of all, they are all given that sensitivity by the nature process, otherwise they cannot survive. Alright. Now, if they have that level of sensitivity, human beings would have 10,000 times. It is by the sensitivity of ancient Maharshis, Bhaskara and Vagbada and all, that could identify distant stars and their movements and calculated it so correctly. It's the modern so-called high technology science have to simply wonder the accuracy. What about the sensitivity of Dhanvantari and Sisters and all that? About the n number of plants in this universe. This plant has this quality and this property, and this is combined with that combined, and all those things, and given to a human being, such and such an illness will vanish. They could sense the plants. They could feel the plants, and not just feel, it's entire reality. Okay. Bhaskara, for example, I remember reading a newspaper report. Bhaskara, some high-level radar telescope in NASA identified a distant star as not one but two. Bhaskara had already returned here 3,000 years back. Sushrita has listed there are 72,000 veins in the body. Do you think it was counted? It is invisible. And the modern science, after 20 n number of dissecting the body and counting it with advanced equipment, they also say 72,000 exactly. That is the level of sensitivity possible. Possible. Every child is able to sense a great lot of details in the environment. Yeah, even inside a city building. But it doesn't have the words to talk about it, and it doesn't realize that it is something which only they can sense. But adults are gradually talking about the visible, sensible things and forcibly lift its attention to those things, the chair and the spoon and the dress and the playthings and the color books and things like that. So it comes to that level. You also disregard any number of details in the environment, so the child also learns to do that, where the sensitivities are lost. Why a singer? Because as a little child, he or she has heard the mother humming a tune, or even mother singing to the child, at least singing a lullaby. How many mothers of today can even sing a lullaby to the child? Hum a tune when she is working in the kitchen or elsewhere. Whereas a singer mother will be always humming a tune while she is washing the plates or cooking a cup of tea or whatever. She will automatically sing a lullaby to the child. So hearing that, like every child is learning to talk because everybody around is talking, it learns to sing also. And they say it is some special talent. Okay? So how many mothers take a child to look at the skies and look at the flowers and look at the birds today? All young mothers, educated mothers who have nothing else. They buy chocolates and good dresses and take them to ice cream parlors and cars and give them so-called playthings, what you call wooden blocks and things like that. Thinking that that is intelligence development. Whereas every creative person, every really highly creative person interacted with the natural process when they were children.
I was about to ask
Yeah.
that.
Because we are all creatures of the natural process. We wear a dress and talk a language and so-called educated, and we think that we are somebody special. The entire world is for human beings. That's also propagated by the so-called religion. God is only for human bloody beings. God is not concerned about the birds and the plants and the rocks and the mountains and the rains. God only for human beings. So it's all absolute ignorance. Satjnana timirandasya. So I can go on talking like this, but coming to the point, now I will tell you a small parable. In martial arts, you talked about sensitivity, okay? Amaya, I told you I married at the age of 48, to do research on children. Yeah. So we never interacted much with Amaya when he was a little child. I was observing him. He developed his own words to talk about many things. Most of my students are using his words only. So for urinating he said Shilla. For drinking water he said Silsila. Then several words are there. And then he was, I noticed him interacting, showing signs and talking to many things. Nothing there. Then I am sure he was seeing many things, but how will I ask questions? How will I ask him to say, what do you see? When he was about 2 years old, he said, don't you see, Swami, the thing there? I remember even now there was a small jackfruit tree. See, under that tree, look Swami, I pretend, I see. And he gave a name. That is called Dinta. No, not that is called Dinta, that is Dinta. That's the word he used. And then I got an idea. So, do you see Dinta nowadays? No, for the last 5, 6, 7 days I don't see that. But I think it was 4 years, 5 years. Then one day she said, today Dinta came and you are sitting on this chair. Sorry, in the court. In fact, it was already studied in psychology, in the ancient real psychologists. Once psychology was taken over by the United States of America, who wanted to have dominance over education policies and the education system all over the world, when psychology was taken by US, it was the end of psychology. Because US mind does not have the depth to penetrate the deeper invisible layers. They are very mechanical mind. They want electronics and machines to understand the world. So they reduced psychology and redefined psychology as the study of human behavior. They never accepted dreams, they never accepted intuition and imagination and visualization, and they disregarded Carl Jung and Sigmund Freud and Sullivan and Abraham Maslow and all those people from France and Italy and other places. They were very intuitive people. And one of them suggested, he said children have what they named as eidetic imagery, E-I-D-E-T-I-C. That's what that psychologist conceived. Because children are interacting with many things, he noticed. But the so-called adult cannot see. So he created a postulate that children have eidetic imagery. So he said it is an imagination of the child. Anyway, whatever it is. So that is lost. That is never trained. You don't want to train. You want the child to learn Jack and Jill went up the hill and Baba Black Sheep and write ABCD and play with the stupid blocks. That's what intelligence for the so-called stupid intellectuals of the world. They don't study the creative geniuses in the world. Researchers like me have studied. They have never read the biography of so-called highly creative researchers. They have not read the story of philosophy, which gives detailed narration of the childhood of those wonderful geniuses of their own land. Okay? Amaya is very intuitive. He can feel things much in advance. Yeah. Now, Now I will talk about that parabolic case in Zen. It is actually belonging to Zen, but it's about martial arts. So, one boy got so fascinated with the sword. So, he went to a monastery where the greatest swords master was living and training disciples. And it was only for the samurais. Samurais are a community in Japan, even now there. They were all so-called born warriors, somewhat like the Kshatriyas of India. So he was not the child of a samurai, he was the child of a farmer. But he got fascinated with the swords play. And he approached the Zen master. He said, no, don't enter the campus. You don't have sword in your blood, just get lost. After 5 months, again this boy approached. Again and again and again. Then the Zen master thought, okay, after all, a young boy, okay, you be in the monastery, but as a helper in washing the vessels of our kitchen. Then the boy thought, okay, that is that, alright. So he joined. And it was his job also. There were two others also, perhaps I suppose, washing the vessels. So many vessels were there. And washing meaning, washing in a Zen monastery meaning washing impeccably. Not just like that fooling around, like most of the modern housewives do or servants do. And he was there 1 year, 2 years, nothing happened, so he would sleepless nights. Then he forgot it. Okay, I am not a samurai's child. One day as he was washing a vessel, he was kicked away. A strong kick on his buttocks and he was shot about 10-12 feet. His bones were broken and all that. Who did that? The master.
Master.
And nobody can question a master. That is the culture of monasteries. Like in India also. To somewhat extent even in the schools till about 40 years back, teachers were respected and glorified. So every other disciple wondered, they thought he must have done some nonsense or something like that. Nobody knows what the Zen master notices. And he was taken care of by other disciples or something like that. Again 1 year passed. Then he was given a job of sweeping the floors of the rooms of the monastery. So he was doing that job. And then one day he finished sweeping one room and opened the bamboo door. Suddenly the master appeared and gave him a cut on the shoulder with a bamboo sword. Bamboo swords are used for practicing, for learning. And the shoulder was severely cut and the shoulder bone was broken.
For him.
Yeah, for this boy. And again he thought, or others thought he has done some mischief or he did not do the job properly. They have no idea why the master did. The master did it, no idea. Nobody would even think about that. Because that is the reverence with which they looked at the master. And he was sleeping on a bamboo structure, 3-4 bamboos and just raised above the ground level. One night, he just slipped away from the bamboo cord and the bamboo cord was cut into 2 pieces. So what happened? Over the 3 years he developed such an alertness. Anything can happen anytime. From sleep, he just got away. And the bamboo cord was cut into 2 pieces by a real sword of the master. Next person. So, the person with the greatest sensitivity becomes the greatest musician. Sensitivity to very fine pitch variations and tone variations and melodies and rhythm. Hundreds of students must be joining an established master in Hindustani music or Carnatic music. They have only a desire They may be very genuine, but they don't have that inner whatever variable. When Mandra went to dance, a dance teacher, she was just establishing the school. Some 4 or 5 girls were there. So we were living almost a little near to that teacher's house. So, and when Mandra was born, even before she was born, her mother knew that she was a special child. Her mother was of that level of perception at that time. She named her, she knows, it is scanning whether boy or girl is not allowed, you know that. It is prevented.
Yeah.
So, even when she was 3rd month or 4th month, she said, I have a baby girl in my body. And after some days she said, I am naming her Mandra. She named her. Rishika was added by me later after she was born. And most of the time she would say, I think she is doing dance within my body. Her movements, which every embryo makes, but that's what the mother interpreted. Every time she said that. See, she is dancing. Then I realized that this child will become a great dancer. So when she was 3 or 4, or 5 or 6 or something, 4 or 5, 6 or 7, till then we were in Coimbatore and Bangalore. She joined the class. And within 1 month, she became the most beloved student of the teacher. So what I am talking is not that. And there was a performance. Then a great lot of neighboring girls also joined the course. They all wanted to become like Mandra. But they could not. Because their sensitivities were not trained. Their mothers, when they were carrying the child, they had no idea. I have often seen as a researcher, when I come across somebody and interacting with him, within 1 minute I will ask that boy, is your mother or father a teacher? 90% of the time the answer is teacher. Because this teacher mother, she was addressing the students carrying the baby inside. Any teacher, even the most useless teacher, will be little bit sincere and dedicated in the classroom. So that child was in the womb of the mother, umpteen number of hours when the mother was in full focus of explaining and teaching. In the past, the queen, when she is pregnant, she will be taken to a special place. A building will be exclusively constructed for her, with all kinds of beautiful paintings by masters on the walls, great poets delivering poetry to her, great dancers dancing only for her, and great scriptures read out to her by master poets. And there will be a special bathtub created, a pool created for her only to take bath, special flowers planted only for her to see in the garden, because another entity is growing in her body. And that child at the age of 14 commands an army. And every king of the past was a person of wisdom and understanding, unlike the modern political leaders. So we are talking about the sensitivity element. Now you can imagine in the n number of mothers, you can go back. What was the mindset of the father and mother at the time of the so-called sexual intercourse? Most of the time it is done without the permission of the mother, female body. Because a man enters into sexual act almost whenever. But the woman is actually not ready. The female body is designed like that. How many men are even aware of that? Despite so many videos and talks by medical doctors. Okay, what is the mindset of woman and the man at the time of that sexual intercourse. They don't do a sexual intercourse to create a child, okay? What mindset? What is the mindset? The overall understanding of the person. What is the philosophy? What is the perspective? What is the quality and character of that so-called father? In whose body the sperms are formed? What is the character and quality and competencies and perspectives and philosophies of the mother body? Where an egg is developed in over a period of 14 days. And then one day, the mother realized, the female realized that she is pregnant because the period is missing. Then comes the 280 days. Okay, first 3 months it is all purely biological process. Then the brain develops. Every millisecond of the development of that brain is what? Forming of the greatest engine in the world, the non-universe. And what are the thoughts of an average woman for the remaining 120 days? What are her activities? What are her doings? What are her knowings? What is the state of her being? They are very special, going to medical checkup, medical test, doing vitamins, blah, 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 blah. Fortunately, in some customs, the pregnant woman is taken to her mother's home. Why? It was a custom in India. Why?
Because to have a healthy environment.
They had some idea, not very clear, but they had some idea that this pregnant daughter will be better taken care of here. It may not happen there. There, as in most of the average Indian homes, there she will be treated the same way. Maybe a little bit extra consideration, we don't know. She may have special needs of food, special needs of comfort and all that, which the mother would understand, and it will be relatively provided, but not anything more than that. That is why when every cat is a cat, every human being is never near a human being.
Coming back to this sensitivity, doctor, we call tribe people who live near the nature or near the forest. So those tribal people will have better sensitivity compared to people who live in the
100%. That's also in so many researchers, it is a general knowledge they have.
But not like animals' sensitivity, though they are in the
because
nature.
that is not required for human beings. Maybe human beings who lived a nomadic life in the forest of the past, they might have had a little bit of sensitivity. Now everything is taken care of, highly secured environment.
Even for tribal people.
To a greatest interest. Even so-called tribal and poor people, uneducated local people, they are more sensitive. Who identified Jesus? Fishermen.
Okay.
He lived with the fishermen. So-called first 16 disciples, who only wrote many chapters, apparently charted out the chapters by the Bible. They were all fishermen.
Okay.
He was identified by the word fishermen. What are fishermen? They only deal with the vastness of the ocean. So they are very sensitive. Who identified Satya Sai Baba? Local ordinary people. Who identified Mother Amritanandamayi? Ordinary local people. When they identified and when they glorified her, then the others also suspected there is something in him, and they gathered around and they took over the custody, and poor people are all out and they are glorifying and they are enjoying and doing ashrams and offering crores and doing that. They did not identify Jaggi Vasudeva or Sri Ravi Shankar, then your Sai Baba. See, similarly, which we have discussed many times before, who created this wonderful world of human beings, things from safety pin to satellites, uneducated people, because they had sensitivity. Educated people are artificially made sensitive to some chemistries and physics and maths and classrooms and nothing. In the past, in the schools, the teachers every day said at least some philosophy to every student, to the students at the end of the class. I remember. My mother was very well known as a great teacher. Most of the teachers. Now nothing. Go to the classroom, talk the subject and get lost. And parents also do not talk anything wonderful to the children. I was visiting a vice chancellor of a university. When I was in the night time, about 8:30 p.m. So he was correcting the thesis of a student. Okay. Then the little girl appeared. Papa, what are you doing? Nothing. That was the answer. And I think I don't remember, then the child left. Then I asked him, that's why I am disliked, Nobody likes me. I asked my friend, so why didn't you say that I am thinking? Oh, no, a little girl, she wouldn't understand all these things. Have you tried? Hey, what are you talking, Sundari, your research and all those things? I tell her many other things about the world, about other things and all that. They don't have the self-confidence. If the child by chance asks back, Papa, what is thinking? You will have no answer. Okay. So that's all.
Now same many times, many incidents I am facing with Vashini. For her many questions, I need to think, then I have to answer.
You can adopt a strategy. One, you say, if you know, you explain that. Or else you say, let me think about it, I will discuss it.
That's
tomorrow.
what most of the time I do.
Well, also you can ask, why don't you also think? Because the mind or the intellect that generated a question also carries the clues for the possible answer.
Yes. In simple things where I can allow her to think and answer, I'll ask her, think and let me know.
That's what I never explained anything to Mandra and Maya. But I tell them about genius, etc., once in a while. A lot of my friends think that I trained them. Actually, not much. They have listened to occasional talks like this. That's all. So, you can train the sensitivities of her. Actually, I wanted to train Amaya to be sensitive to the plants and the birds, to understand the language of the plants and the birds and all that. But actually then I thought, for what?